Hello there. Hi. Greetings to you. My name is Midwife Sarana, and as always, it is my topmost priority to get you educated. So I'm here once again on your beautiful screen with another lesson. Today I'm going to talk about how we can cope with labor. Yes, basically first stage labor. Now, it is vaginal birth that I am referring to when I say how to cope with labor. So basically the topic should even be how to cope with first stage vaginal birth. Basically that is what the topic is about. Yes, now labor is a very stressful process, a very painful one that demands some coping strategies. It's not that easy. Yes, we'll go through some pain. It's just like some of us experience menstrual cramps, dysmenorrhea or something, and some discomforts. It's just like that. Okay, so the first stage of labor is when we said there are going to be a lot of contractions, abdominal uterine contractions, and the cervix is going to dilate. So that process comes with pains because our pelvic muscles, our perineal muscles, they are all in an action just like the uterus, so they are going to cause pain. So we need to cope with these pains. Yes, so what do we do? How do we cope with this vaginal birth? The first thing is that we have to psych our minds and know that we are going to go through labor. It means that we have to psychologically prepare. It's termed psychological preparation. So psych your mind that when eventually labor sets in, you are going to go through some pains, and then you need to definitely would have to psych your mind to prepare yourself to go through it very well. Now, what I mostly tell our mothers, our pregnant mothers, is that you always have to know your weeks of pregnancy and be on the alert, so that when it's getting to time, just like you're saying, psych your mind. So you always have to know your weeks and then be on the alert that hey, something is going to come. Yes, and then that is one of the ways. Now the third thing is that at the beginning of the process, you eat at the beginning of the process to gain energy. Okay, we don't want your body to fall into a state called ketoacidosis. You see, normally labor becomes so painful such that we find it difficult to eat in the process. We find it difficult to even put ourselves together and do anything at all. That is the first stage labor of vaginal birth. It's such a traumatizing situation. So if we tend not to eat, it means we'll be starving, and then our bodies will fall on other sources of food nutrients for energy. Fall on the proteins and the other sources, the vitamins for energy, to provide energy for you, and that will release some things into your body called ketones. And now ketones also have the tendency of prolonging labor when they find their way through the placentas and what have you. So the more labor prolongs, the more unpleasant happenings like maternal distresses and fetal distresses, PPH and what have you, that we've always been trying to prevent, comes in. So I always advise mothers to be able to cope well with the first stage labor. Kindly eat something, find something to eat. You ask for foods are mostly appropriate. Basically, we need energy, so foods that are going to give you energy are most preferred. Okay, foods that are going to give you some glucose into your system, just so your body will not fall on the other things, are mostly preferred. Because sometimes you may be experiencing nausea and vomiting as the labor advances. You will not be able to concentrate. So at the beginning, where it's mild, it's not so much, just find something and eat. Get a support person, even if it's just a normal daily snacky meal like malts and things. It's quite better than nothing. And then I also always advise that right at the latter stages of the third trimester, I always advise that mothers start deep breathing exercises, walking about, especially if you are 36 weeks, 37, 35 weeks. The more you walk, the more gravity descends on you, the more baby descends. So walk about a lot, so that gravity will act on you, and then cause baby to descend more and more to hit the perineum. It's the same thing with labor. At the first stage of labor, because we are going through pain, some of us may be tempted to just be in bed and be crying and be doing a whole lot of yes, I understand. However, it's also advisable that you can walk about in your labor. The three word, they almost say deuterium, or yes, I mean psych your mind that the pains are going to be there, but I have to do something. So walk about in the labor room with your drip stand and what have you. You can, okay? Let's try and hold ourselves together, and then walk about after the midwives have done all that they want to do, giving us infusions and whatever. Let's walk about for gravity to act more on us. The more gravity, the more descends or cares to baby, okay, and hits the cervix. The more baby hits the cervix, the more baby stimulates the cervix. So you see how it goes. Now, deep breathing exercises also helps to keep your mind off the pains during the contractions, okay, and even perfuses or gets more oxygen to the baby, and also prevents you from having the temptation of pushing through a not fully opened cervix, a not fully dilated cervix, an undilated cervix, because if you do that, that can prolong the labor. You'll be having the edge during contractions. As baby is hitting, you'll be having the edge to push. However, it's advised to take in deep breaths while the contractions are coming, just so you wouldn't be tempted to push, because if you push, then unfortunately the cervix is going to swell up rather than opening up. We need the cervix to be thin enough, so don't push through an undilated cervix. Rather do what? Breathe in deeply from time to time. Yeah, so start working about, start taking your deep breaths, okay? Start getting your bags, everything packed. And hopefully you will get, by the time labor sets in, you are already used to pacing about, and you can pace about with your drip stand in the ward. By the time labor sets in, you're already used to deep breathing, so when the contractions come, you would be able to breathe in and what have you. Now, I also like to say that it is very necessary that during labor you keep hydrated, because the process is very stressful and you are going to be sweating. Sincerely, some of us cannot even sleep at all because of these contractions and pains. When we are in the AC, we don't even feel the AC. When the midwives talk, we cannot even hear. So I want you to keep hydrated. Take sips of water throughout the process, because baby is descending. Baby is going to press on your bladder. Yes, and it will cause you to urinate. And because we are in pains to our sweat glands and all that, they all get stimulated. So we'll be urinating, we'll be sweating, we'll be losing fluid. So within the process, don't go dry. Please, I beg you, do not go dry. Just hydrate yourself from time to time, and then get a support person to be with you in your labor room. Get massages, sacral massages at your back, just at your lower back. It helps to relieve some form of pain, okay? The support persons are also going to be with you throughout the process. Sometimes you need just water to be picked for you. Sometimes you need you need some form of encouragement. So always get a support persons to be with you. This is where we need you. Please be with us, okay? Hopefully it will be over, and then you'll be free. It could be anybody. It could be your partner, it could be mommy, it could be anyone. And then midwives will come and assess you. Midwives will come and do a lot of things for you. So you have to cooperate with your health caregivers. Within every 4 hours, you find your midwives coming in. They'll be advising you change your perineal pads. Okay, yes, just change them so that you wouldn't get infections. Maybe lie on your left side. Yes, do this. Let me check baby's heartbeat. Let me check your contractions. Always cooperate with your health caregivers when they come to you during the process of labor to interrupt and give you some things or check up on you and the baby and know what to do for you at each point in time. Some of you tend to fight us, but it's part of the coping strategies. Yes, you know, some of the things we do for you are painful, like the vaginal examinations. However, we definitely have to do it. Okay, we know some of the things are uncomfortable. However, we definitely have to do it. So be encouraged and cooperate with your healthcare providers as at the time is needed. So basically that is it. I would like to also say that be encouraged. The process is painful, it's stressful, but soon it will be over. hopefully you would be fine. Yes, so thank you very much for joining in. You can always send your comments. Tell me how best I can improve upon myself. How I performed is also very necessary for me. Kindly tell me all that. Finally, please subscribe and share so that whenever I do a lesson or I do a presentation, you would get a notification of it to watch. Share it across. Let's get this across to people who would need it. I mean, to the world, everybody would need this. So thank you very much. It is your midwife Sarah with the topmost priority of educating you. Thank you for joining in. It's bye for now.